So, welcome to today's session of releasing your limiting beliefs, so that we can step into our power, step into our highest potential, and live an awesome life, which life is awesome already, whatever life brings us. Um, so today we're looking in at continuing to drill down on the limitation. So we're going to take what came up yesterday and we're going to explore it a little bit further to see if we can get more information so that we can really get to the root of what's been coming up. The other thing is what we get out of these sessions is whatever is needed. So even if we are wanting to drill down, allow whatever needs to come up to come up to surface so that it can really be looked at and dealt with. So remember, the gratitude aspect of it is looking at this limitation that we've been working on or that has surfaced, or series of limitations, has benefited us in one way or another throughout our lives because it shaped who we are today. And usually with the limitations that we've been going through or that we've carried, there's a sense of gratitude that comes towards us because what happens is it's given us skills around it to overcome it. And not only that, whether we're grateful for that limitation having carried us so far, or we look at gratitude of what we're wanting to bring in instead of that today, that would work as well. So gratitude is an amazing frequency to embody because the more that we are grateful, the more things come towards us to be grateful for. So where we focus our energy is what we create. So if we focus our energy on what's not there, on worrying about things, on whatever the worst possible outcome would be, we are providing energy to that. And we bring towards us more things. You'll start seeing that people that generally have a negative outlook on life is, why does this always happen to me, will continue to always have things that they dislike happening to them. Whereas we focus our energy and attention on being grateful for what we already have or what's to come, then it will allow us to bring more towards us to be grateful for. So we're focusing our energy and on what we'd prefer rather than what we'd not, prefer not to have in our lives. And it ends up kind of like working out in the sense like, once you buy a car that you've always wanted, you'll tend to see a lot of cars of the same thing around you. It's like a lot of times when women fall pregnant, you tend to spot all the pregnant women around you that comes through. And like a silly example, like my headphones, I had put them somewhere because I came in wet from the rain after taking the dogs for a walk. And I thought, okay, let me revert back to my old headphones. So I had kind of like those big headphones, surround sound, and literally I saw nobody with these kind of headphones, for the whole day. And I thought, isn't that interesting? And I was like, I thought these were so out, these were so old, the big headphones, but literally I saw like 4 or 5 people like taking my daughter to volleyball and back. I saw kind of big headphones, or taking the dogs for a walk. I saw big headphones and I was like, this is such a time warp. But what I'm trying to say is that what we focus on or what vibrational frequency we find ourselves in is the timeline, the reality, the dimension that we live in. So it's important to really look at the gratitude aspect. So I'm going to suggest have a look at the page, like if you journaled, what came up for you yesterday. Let's look at the intention, whether it's how do we find ourselves grateful around how that limitation has shaped us, but also kind of like how it served us and what we've learned from it. Because what I noticed that once we learn the lesson or once we look at what is this opportunity for soul growth that is being presented to us, once we see it, the situation need no longer exist. So I was quite lucky to find this out when I was pretty young, when I was, going through a few things. I'd look at things and I'd go, what is this situation teaching me? And I'd kind of like look at hindsight as to why is this here? And once I received the message of what was the lesson and I fully accepted it, and I think that's a big part of gratitude is it helps you to accept instead of reject, and work with the flow, that the situation just dissipates. And I found that quite interesting, as a skill. And um, later on, Matt Kahn, I don't know if you're familiar with Matt Kahn, he talks about, one of the questions he asks, and this is something that I ask when I am going through something, is how is this working for me? So what are the benefits that I'm getting out of this? Even though it might seem absolutely awful or uncomfortable, it's what I've called the situation towards me somehow, somewhere. How is it working for me? What is the lesson to allow it to dissipate a lot faster? And I find that asking that question is helps us to really move through this cycle pretty quickly. So let's jump in and let's meditate. Let's find out. Let's be grateful for the limitations that came up yesterday or any others that need to come up today that are more prominent. Okay, so let's close our eyes. Let's take a couple of deep breaths, breathing in through our nose and out through our mouths. And let's imagine that we're breathing in light, and as we exhale, we release, remove, and dissolve all that no longer serves us. Releasing the tension of the day we've experienced, or any tension that we're experiencing around the day we're about to face. Breathing in light and releasing all that no longer serves. Allowing the light that we breathe in to ignite our own inner light. Breathing in light into every single cell within our body. Amplifying this light within us to encompass our auric field, clearing our etheric, our mental and emotional bodies. releasing all that is not ours. Let's call forward the crystalline grid at the center of the earth. This diamond white grid is the ascended grid. Allow it to move up through the layers, connecting to the soles of your feet, opening up the soles of your feet, allowing the exchange of energy between us and Mother Earth as it continues to move up and anchor into our root and then into our heart. Allow these energies to circulate through all aspects of us, bringing in the grounded, nurturing nutrients that our physical body needs, and bringing in calm to our nervous system, and becoming one with Mother Earth. Knowing that we have our place here on this planet. Connecting to the golden grid of the central sun, the grid of ascension, the grid of expansion, the grid of unconditional love and compassion. And we call forward this grid, allowing it to connect to the crown of our heads, opening up the crown, strengthening our connection with our higher self, our I am presence, our guides, our angels, our own Akashic Records. And now allow it to move through, down through the layers, anchoring into the heart space. Allowing both grids to interchange, interlace, interlock, connecting us to the heavens above and the earth below. As above, so below. Allowing the energies to circulate through all systems, bringing in the love, the compassion that we already are. Let's drop into the heart space. And let's connect into our records. Keepers of the Akashic Records, please open and allow me access to my records. My name is, state your name. And I ask that you create a safe and sacred space for my highest good and healing, allowing me to step into my highest potential, into a space of gratitude. The records are now open. The records are now open. The records are now open. Step over the threshold into your records. And let's ask the question, based on what came up yesterday or in general. How have these limitations served you till now? What are the lessons that have been learned? Or what do you need to know now about them? What strengths have developed from these limitations within yourself? Let's ask without thinking. What are 5 or more things that you can be grateful for with regards to this limitation? Or right now? And let's give thanks and gratitude to the keeper of the records for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we have received today. The records are now closed, the records are now closed, the records are now closed. Let's make our way back to the here and now. Opening your eyes when you are ready and journaling.